Welcome back, guys, to the Armchair podcast. It's been another week of football. Bit of an interesting week. Some absolute stinkers in there. Some good games. A few talking points. But yeah, as we always do, we'll start with Arsenal.
Can I just say it's so nice to have Joshua Flowers on the Jacob Flowers and Joshua Flowers podcast again.
It's nice to have Jacob Flowers on the
Joshua Flowers actually,
podcast.
I don't actually think. Let me double check on my YouTube because I don't think the Gary Neville podcast has actually been released yet. So we might actually. I mean, by the time this comes out, it will have been released yet. But I just want
Gary on the. He would have been on
Gary
the
Neville. The Gary Neville
tonight,
podcast. This is a joke. So obviously Sunday night, I'm thinking the game weekend's over. I want to go in bed. I want to have a cup of tea, and I want to listen to the Gary Neville podcast. That's obviously what everyone wants to do at the end of their week, and it's not out. Well, what am I supposed to do then? I'm gutted. I'm actually gutted. Like, it's the best podcast ever, and the variety of guests that he has on there.
I wonder who will get on this week.
Yeah. I just love it.
If we can manage to get Gary Neville on it again.
I love him going over the comment. I love basically listening to his commentary for like all the games, or at least one, the Man United game, and then straight after listening to a whole like 40 minutes of him talking about Man United.
And then, if that's not enough, then you follow up with the stick to football for dessert. For a bit of play.
Stick to football is actually good though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's all right.
Anyway, so obviously as everyone knows by now, if you listen to this religiously, I hope you do. If you do, thank you again for keeping listening to the podcast. We are going to go quite in depth on the Arsenal section of this podcast today, just because like it was a bit. Usually we don't, and we talk about all the games, but
we've got more games to talk
there's
about,
loads of crap games.
We're not going to talk about either of the no-nos. We're not going to talk about the Fulham game, Fulham Leeds, because we didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a bit, and I think there's this problem as well. So let's start with the international break. What do you think about the international breaks? Like, because it sort of kills the momentum of the Premier League. Do you think they can be moved
honestly,
to be better? Or?
I like a break, to be honest. It's quite nice. You can do other shit. Like, I can't lie. I mean, I get what you're saying, but also I think it kind of helped in a way, because I just thought the Liverpool game, after the Liverpool game, I was like, oh, fuck it. Oh well. At least we don't, Like, we'll come back and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It did break it up. It gives you time to I mean, what's going to be funny is now the contrast of talking about the Liverpool game. That's completely forgotten about, and we've won Forest 3-0, and everyone's now on cloud nine again.
It has helped. I mean, there are a lot of people. I mean, let's just start with the narrative this week. The narrative is now.
You love the word narrative. You love narrative.
Well, I like narratives. That's what I'm interested in. I think the narrative is now back to, well, like the Liverpool game was just a bit of a shit performance, and that duck was rubber ducking. But basically, it was a bit of a shit performance last week. Kind of, we got done by a free kick. That's back, and now we are elite because we're playing like free flowing football, etc. I agree, but I also think it doesn't.
Agree with what?
Well, I agree that, like, to an extent, that last week or the Liverpool game was just one of those games. But I also think you can't take away the fact that we weren't brave in that game. And I'm not going back into that. But that was still a bottle job.
I think it's the thing is, I think obviously if we played Forest, also keep in mind we'll touch on Forest as well, because they've had this big news that we haven't actually spoke about yet, which is pretty funny. But it was quite it was a very nice game for us to come back to, because Forest, because of changing their manager, it was always going to be a win, I think. But there's this thing in new manager bounce. I do wonder if Ange is going to have a new manager bounce, because I think that's like slowly fading away. New manager bounce. I'm not sure if it exists anymore.
Also, I think especially when you're getting a worse manager.
Yeah, exactly. So their manager is doing well. I know they got thrashed against West Ham, but apart from that, it's not like the players are like, oh, we're doing really bad, so now it's like the players must be confused.
Yeah.
We might as well talk about that now, to be honest. Now we're on to it. So this podcast all over the place. But yeah, what do you think about
that? Speak to Forest fans, I don't think anyone is too thrilled. I think they're kind of a bit sceptical. I don't think it's overwhelmingly positive, the reaction to the Ange appointment. I think people are worried about, one, the style of football, because it's very different to what Nuno was playing. I think too, obviously.
But
Nuno was there, and I think Nuno was very liked in the fan base. He worked wonders, to be honest. And then finally, what Ange did at Tottenham, like, yes, he won the Europa League, but that was a bit of a fluke because United was so bad. But they imploded in the league, and they were terrible at times, and they were so naive. So he's now got, arguably, he has got a worse squad at Forest, and if he plays the same way, I just don't understand how he's going to... He couldn't do it with Tottenham's team. I don't understand how he'll do it with Forest, but maybe he will. I don't know.
Okay, so to counterpoint that, if I'm a Forest fan and trying to look for the silver lining, I think at some stage, even though Nuno is a good manager, I think if Forest were to take the next step in terms of solidifying their place I could be wrong with this, but I think most teams that continuously stay in the top 8, the top 10 of the Premier League, play free-flowing attacking football. And that really wasn't Forest. They were great on the counter-attack, and they had their moments, they had their spells in games where they were good. And look, they've got some really good players on the ball, Morgan Gibbs, White, Anderson, etc. But obviously, we watched a lot of their games last season, and I think the fans admit themselves that, they weren't a team known, basically, for putting teams to the sword, really, and dominating the ball. So I think Forest were always looking to potentially move to a manager where they do play more progressive football. And I'm not saying Nuno is ultra defensive because he wasn't, but he's not that style of manager that's sort of inventive or, they don't play that passing, pressing game, even though they do press, obviously. So I think they're always going to move to that style of manager. Obviously, I don't agree with the way that Nuno was sacked, and I don't think it's the right decision for the football club at the moment. But I think that was always going to come, even if Nuno did well. I think they want to change. They're going to change managers.
I don't understand other than for me.
But that's what I'm looking at.
But for me, it wasn't. It wasn't a footballing decision for me.
No, it wasn't a footballing decision.
It was a personality decision.
Yeah, of course it was. No,
and also, I just think that their squad. I mean, someone on comms mentioned it today. The commentator was like, "Well, be interesting," or yesterday. Well, it'd be interesting to see how that back line, which is used to playing so deep and was really good, is going to adapt to playing higher.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Though,
obviously, you can look good in a back four if you sit in deep, and you're in your own box a lot. But if you're coming up to the halfway line, it will really.
But this is what I'm saying in terms of
quality,
so what I'm saying. I think there's going to be a teething period. I think every Forest fan knows that it's going to be rocky. But I honestly think, like, Will raised a good point. Like, he's a Forest fan. He said that we do forget that in Ange's first season with Spurs, he did finish 6th place, which I think people have short memories. Like, that's decent. I know it's not great for Spurs. I know it's not Champions League, but he did finish 6th. And then, yes, he had that terrible season. But when Ange came in, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure everyone was on the Ange train. They were like, oh, he plays great football. The fans loved him. And then, obviously, he did have a terrible Premier League season the second season, but a lot of that was down to injuries. And he did win them a trophy. He was terrible. I think he lost the dressing room. He lost the dressing room in terms of the Premier League, but I think it could be correct in terms of, because I thought, there's no way Spurs as a team play that badly. I thought he lost the dressing room, but then obviously I'm wondering that thing that you said about, we put all the focus on the Europa League, mate. I'm wondering if that was actually a masterclass now, and he actually did, and he just didn't care about the Premier League. Kind of stupid from him, I think.
But that final, I thought Spurs were crap. I thought United were crap too.
They were crap, but Spurs were better though, weren't they?
They got a pretty easy run. They got very fortunate. I don't think
you still have to turn up and win though. Do you not think though from the only?
So
I'm just looking at positives though for Forest. It's like at the end of the day, he is a winning manager. He's won a trophy. So
yeah,
and Forest are in Europe this year.
My take is, if I was a Forest fan, and I'm also having spoke to Forest fans, I wouldn't be too positive because I really liked Nuno. I also think you had a good thing going. And I just think it was mental when you're in European football for the first time to just.
I do agree with that.
I don't know,
no, it's a shocking
to change your style of football.
It's a shocking decision in terms of like.
Maybe Mourinho would have suited it a lot better, but anyway, Mourinho.
Fuck you now, Mourinho. No way. I honestly just think that. Obviously the way that's another completely different discussion. The way Forest is run as a football club. Obviously, a lot of pundits this week are saying it's shocking, and that I don't know how a football club is run that way.
Results,
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all sort of, when Todd Bowley came into Chelsea, we're all like, this is going to be a disaster. He doesn't know what he's
We
doing.
can talk about Chelsea.
Look how that's turned out.
Well, I've got my opinions on Chelsea. We're not going to talk about Chelsea yet, but I don't think that is not necessarily. I don't think that's a success.
Yeah, but it has. No, but
I think
it has worked. You can't say that it hasn't worked out because
Marinakis' leadership has so far at Forest been really successful. I mean, where they were a few seasons ago, and where they are now, like in Europe, is crazy. So in fairness,
exactly.
you have to give him credit, but I do think some of that was, that magic season that they had last season was very much down to Nuno.
At the end of the day, as we've seen in football, if you have a team with good players and you invest in the squad.
But
you invest in the manager.
Just talking about Forest as well, though. No, but just talking about Forest quickly, you're talking about your squad. Their squad build, the way they built their squad right now is pretty poor. Their cover at the back is worryingly bad. So I don't quite know what's going on, and I think Edu needs to pull his fucking finger out.
Well, we know what Edu's like. He's too busy doing barbecue, so I don't have any. No, he is actually. To be fair to Edu, he is. I know he got a lot of shit from Arsenal fans because we've hired like literally one of the best sporting directors in the world. But at the end of the day, like Edu only
that squad,
he did transform an entire and that's what he could do with Forest. And then they got so that's what I mean. He could do. He was decent, Edu. Yeah. Like he's a good technical director.
No, I guess all I'm saying is for Forest, I don't think that people were expecting this season. Forest fans, correct me if I'm wrong, for this to enter now like a project. I think they were more thinking step forward.
Yeah.
And I think this season, I wouldn't be surprised. And I hope it's not. Because obviously I like Forest and I'd love for them to do well in Europe. And I love them to do well in the campaign in the Prem. But I do think it will be a weird season. I think they'll have some high highs, but I think they could have some pretty low lows as well. So I think they've just got to ride out and give Ange a bit of a... You got to give him a chance, obviously.
Forest's owner is basically a more ruthless version of ruthless and not what's the other word, sort of tempered in a bad way version of the previous owner at Chelsea. What was his name?
What, Abramovich?
Abramovich. He's sort of like Abramovich, but like if Abramovich had anger issues, because obviously Abramovich was very calculated. He was ruthless, but like I feel like he takes the football too personally for me. Like if someone says most football club owners act on. And obviously he's a successful businessman, so what the hell do I know? But I think most successful business people don't act on emotion. I feel like Forest owner does a bit.
I was listening to a podcast talk about this, like the difference in Greek versus English football, or like Greek and other European football, is that in Greece it's like expected. There is this like it's more emotional, like you're expected to win at all costs. There's also an expectation of like, particularly like Olympiacos, of that like involvement with the fans, like feedback. Are you sniffing my fingers? Anyway, but I just think with Forest it might take a bit of time, and obviously this game couldn't have been a rougher start for him. Facing Arsenal, who looked well.
Yeah, so let's move on to Arsenal then. Good luck Forest for the rest of the season. I hope you finish above Spurs, because what would be pretty funny is if, because I don't, and also as well we didn't touch on massive news with Tottenham's owner stepping down.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess.
But it's quite unexpected. But it just would be funny that his last decision was to sack Ange, and then by the way, winning a European trophy, which they've never done before, and then he actually gets hired at Forest and ends up finishing above Spurs.
Well, he's not going to finish it above Spurs, according to you.
How do you know?
Well, you love Thomas Frank and Spurs.
I know. I don't think it is going to happen because I think Thomas Frank's a great manager.
I don't see Forest finishing in the top 10 this season.
Ooh, hot take.
Personally, I put them 11th. I put them just outside, just because I just think, especially now.
Your predictions are going to change every fucking week, mate.
I don't think my predictions. A prediction that I made at the start of the season.
Also, my prediction.
The prediction that I made at the start of the season was that Subamendi would be our player of the season.
Wow,
Well, what?
I mean, but it's not really like a hot take, is it? He's one of the best players in the world in that position.
It's a prediction I made. Like, it's like predicting City to win the league 2 seasons ago. A lot of people did it. It wasn't a hot take.
Yeah, so everyone got so angry when I said that Mbeumo and Cunha aren't game changers for United and they won't finish inside the top 10.
Talking about United now.
No, but I'm just saying, talking about predictions, that I will not change that prediction. Man United won't finish in the top 10. Amorim's going to get sacked at the end of the season.
Either, though.
That is, Bro, that is a hot take. I'm sorry. Everyone actually fucking killed me in the comments when I said that Man United won't finish in the top 10.
We'll move on to
United. Okay, so United are deluded.
But let's talk about Arsenal.
Okay.
Obviously, the lineup I really liked. I thought it was pretty exciting. And it's like, we were talking about this, how like interesting the sign is that we've got a whole new look front three. Madueke has been in great form. It was great to see Eze. I was excited about his home debut. And I think Gyökeres has been... Honestly, I think Gyökeres is underrated so far. I think the main football consensus right now is that Gyökeres will get goals against mid-level teams, mid to bottom teams, and he's just kind of a big bruiser that will score tap-ins and the odd goals in those kind of games. I think he's actually been brilliant. I think his hold-up play and his flicks, and he's really clever. I love how direct he is. So yeah, I just want a bit of a rant about
it's
Gyökeres,
a smart signing for me because Arsenal's play since Arteta's took over, it's always been about fluidity in the front three. And to be honest, most of our attack when we've had good seasons, it's never been about the striker. It's all goals wise. It's always about the threat of the wingers and people running in from deep like Rice and Ødegaard to score the goals. But now we have actually got an elite striker who can also get on the end of things and score goals. For me, it's just a win-win. I feel like all the pieces of the puzzle have finally come together in terms of we have a world-class striker, and then also we've got so many options now.
To be fair, I think initially Arteta rated the idea of a having that out-and-out number 9, and I think Jesus did a really good job of that when he first came in. But obviously, just with his injuries, it kind of took away. I think what happened was he got used to the idea of playing Havertz there, which wasn't always the plan. We signed Havertz as an 8. But he just ended up playing up front because he wasn't working at 8. He ended up playing up front, and my personal opinion was, although Havertz is brilliant and he has a lot of good qualities, he isn't quite good enough to be the starting number 9. And I think what we're seeing is, in my opinion, Gyökeres is such a presence and he's so good that that's all I'm trying to say. I'm saying that having that number 9 now, we're seeing the difference again. I'm not trying to criticise Havertz. I'm just saying there's a reason now that it feels a lot more exciting. There's a lot more different options. Obviously, it's because we've improved on the left, but it's also because we've got a bit of a focal point in the middle again. Havertz kind of he's a focal point away, but I don't know. I wasn't sure about Havertz.
So just to get off the individual players at the minute and just more on the squad. I know you just touched on the fact that, and we did during the game, that our starting is exciting lineup for one. Our front three is completely different from last season. Madueke, Gyökeres and Eze. I know because of injuries, but that front three has never played together before. They were absolutely sensational.
Yeah, they were really good.
I know Forest were bad, really bad, like we've said, but they were great. And they're still a difficult team to break down at times, Forest. I don't think any of the goals, I don't think it was a defensive shambles from Forest. The first one was an absolute worldie. What can you do about that?
Yeah, they got unfortunate with that
The second one, they got cut open. By the way, Calafiori.
What a ball.
Honestly, Miles Lewis-Skelly, unfortunate for him, but
it's going to be hard for him.
There was this. It was weird when we signed Calafiori. I thought he was a massive. Everyone was so excited about him, and because of his injuries and his inconsistency, everyone was like, "Oh, Miles Lewis-Skelly is better." Calafiori is the guy. He is a sensational left back.
Yeah,
he's got everything.
I think Skelly
is amazing.
Is amazing as well. I just think
he is,
so
but he's so young. He's still so young.
I think also Skelly will be in midfielder one day.
Yeah, but that ball from Calafiori, just to go back.
It's just overall play. He just pops up in right centre mid.
Oh, no. He's unbelievable.
He'll just play some little ball or intricate pass, or he's always looking up. He always looks forward.
But that's what's been missing, I think.
He's a fucking great defender.
So
he puts in a mean
last
tackle.
season we missed that directness. And you think the direct ball, Calafiori to Eze, first thing on the half volley as well, bangs it across goal. And that's it, the game's over. And I think that's what we've lacked last season,
I agree.
Was that cutting edge. And I think, you know what, honestly, and it's sad to say this, because I did like him when he first came through, but if that was Martinelli especially, or Trossard on that left-hand side, I don't think that goal happens. Because Eze's got the awareness, and Gyökeres makes that run. Havertz wouldn't have made that run for a start. And Trossard, maybe Martinelli would have had his head down, and he wouldn't. They would have slowed it down and passed it back. And I just thought it was an amazing goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, just on the squad thing, also as well, we had Mosquera because Saliba was injured, and genuinely we have in terms of our squad, it's the strongest Arsenal squad in history. Like literally, our second 11 could challenge for the top 6 in the Premier League. Like our second 11. It's like Martinelli or Havertz, by the way, take your pick. Havertz or Jesus, take your pick. Madueke, Nwaneri, who's the new centre mid we signed, Norgard, Marino. Then you got Miles Lewis-Skelly, the new centre back. What's his name? Nkape. Mosquera, and then bloody Ben White. That is an amazing team. Yeah. So just on it, I think with the amount of money that we have spent, and I'm not saying we've become Man City because they've broken loads of charges, but we are essentially the new Man City now, in my opinion. Liverpool on paper, their squad, I know they've got Wirtz and they've got Isak, but if you look at their defensive depth and their midfield depth, it's nowhere near. We are the new Man City, in my opinion. We have the best squad
by far.
It's crazy. I never thought this would happen to Arsenal.
No, but we have the best squad by far, and that's why I want to talk about Chelsea a bit later, because I think the way they built their squad is weird. Really,
but you know, back in the day, like when
City, Liverpool also.
Like, but when you looked at like Man City back in the day when they won 3 leagues, and I know we're not near Man City at the minute in terms of winning things, but I think that's on the way.
2 seasons ago with Man City.
But like you look at their starting 11, and then you look at their bench, and you look at the bench, and you go world class. And then you look at our bench yesterday; it was mad.
But it's not, and
we had Declan Rice on the bench.
We've got so many injuries as well. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a credit to.
It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan.
To be fair, it's a credit to the work that Edu did previously, Arteta, and obviously Berta now.
I just think this slow. I know that people take the piss out of this phase thing, but when you do actually look at the trajectory of the football club since Arteta's come in, it has genuinely been like a phase thing. And you know, when people have given us so much shit for bottling leagues, but Arteta's such a good manager. We weren't meant to be challenging for the league 3 seasons ago.
I agree with that.
We just weren't. I agree. We didn't have we were nowhere good as Man City. One injury and our entire team was
Let's face it, like what I was talking about, Jesus, we kind of stumbled on that
a gem.
You know, that fucking not.
He
just
wasn't
him,
meant to be
Zinchenko, and the way it all just came together. And Saliba, let's not forget.
Yeah.
That Saliba was kind of in the shadows.
On loan,
Marseille.
He burst through,
and then he just came, and obviously we knew he was going to be class, but he just slotted in, and next to Gabriel, you just thought, fucking hell. And it all clicked together. So we were way ahead of schedule. I agree with you on that. I do agree.
So that's what I mean. People giving us shit saying you bottled it. It's like, no, we were ahead of schedule. So really, we should have only but we should have only be challenging for the league as according to their plan as of last season. But no, it's not a coping mechanism. It's not a coping mechanism.
You've got to think about it. Like ultimately in football, you know, like it's happening. You're like, fucking hell, we've got a chance now. You know, if everyone around you shit, it's kind of like these players, right? It's
but they weren't.
Let me give you an example. No, but let me give you an example. Like Lamine Yamal, he doesn't go, well, I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm not gonna.
No, this is a completely different thing.
No, it's true.
This is a terrible.
If you're ahead of schedule, you can't just go, well, I wasn't meant to be there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
For me, we were always going to fail unless we got lucky. We got beaten. We've got beaten to the league by Man City twice, who were. Not prime Man City, but still very, very good Man City with Haaland, who broke the goal, who was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So really, we shouldn't. Let's be honest. We are now. If we didn't win the league, you'd be like, "Oh, this is a complete failure." And maybe last season we got unlucky with injuries, but now it's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
like we're expected to win the next 2 seasons. If you don't win,
I get what you're saying,
failure.
Jay,
but it's not a failure so far.
I get what you're saying.
This has been the plan.
But I do think like you have to play. It's clear that it's clear that we've been one of the best teams in Europe for the past 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, of course.
We shouldn't have been, but we were.
I know.
And we were good enough to win the leagues. Do you not think so?
Yes,
we were good enough to win.
I feel like we've entered a whole new stratosphere
in
terms of who we are as a club.
I
mean, the fact this summer is the way I think, and props to it, because you know, if this football club was run by fans, we'd be fucking shit because everyone panics. It's like, oh, just because you haven't won the league this like 1 season, then it's like, oh, you know, you need to sack the manager and the players aren't going to join. This bollocks. People are always going to join Arsenal Football Club, and every single player that joins knows there's a chance we can win a trophy. I know, but
if we don't win a league this season, though, the same conversation.
I'm not on about this season. I'm on about previous seasons.
What?
I'm on about previous seasons. We've got the best squad in the league now, and that's just a fact.
Right.
And I think it's going to happen this year.
I hope
We'll win a
does,
major trophy this year, I believe, unless we get unlucky.
Or we bottle it.
It's nonsense.
Is that what? Like we bottled it against Liverpool the other week. I think you can give Arteta amazing amounts of credit. Literally say he's been one of the best managers in world football, but you can also admit when you think maybe we come up short a little bit. We've come up short a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Like
even last summer's transfer window, I thought was a bit shit. Like Mikel Merino was a weird signing. Calafiori's injury record wasn't very good. We needed a striker and we didn't get one. We've made mistakes along the way.
But that's recruitment. That's not Arteta, is it?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying how an example of where you can criticise where it's not always been perfect. Every phase hasn't been.
But it's not Arteta. That's not been on Arteta though.
I'm just saying.
I mean, let's be honest. Against Anfield away, any team in world football will tell you. Like, if you look at that, I know. Obviously, I've reacted. I do think we could have been more adventurous in that game, but and he could have made subs earlier. But that free kick is just like ridiculous. And even again, let's like Liverpool. Right? I'm sorry. They've done it again.
Right. Let's sorry. This structure, this podcast, all over the place.
Does it
matter?
matter?
Get to Liverpool in a sec, but I just think there's a few other things maybe. Or are you finished with the 3-0?
I'm finished.
You finished with 3-0. You don't want to talk about Noni?
No.
Madueke,
I'm not finished about Arsenal. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Obviously, we're Arsenal fans, so we're going to talk about Arsenal a lot more than other teams. It's probably piss people off, but that's why I want it to be an Arsenal podcast, really. But it's nice to talk about other things. But no, So Madueke, obviously. And again, it's just mad internet. Like, when he signs, everyone's like, fucking hell, like, here we go.
Hold on, though.
No, but honestly...
Also, Arsenal fans are such revisionists. This is another thing. The Madueke signing was never, this guy's shit. It was, we're giving £50 million again for Chelsea to Chelsea. That was
it wasn't convincing, was it? It wasn't like, oh my God.
I'm still mad about it. Like, why did we
Let's be honest. We didn't know he was going to sign Eze. But Ornstein did say at the start of the window, the plan was to get 3 attacking players, and we did. So I think that was always the plan.
Yeah,
despite the Havertz injury.
It looks great that we got Eze, but also you
said
on the pod last week.
If we
wouldn't have signed Eze without Havertz.
Yeah, if we signed
injury.
Yeah, but I don't know with that one.
That's a stick.
I don't know about that one. What do you think? Because I think
I don't know.
You could flip a coin on that one. Because I don't know. I can't work out our club sometimes.
Well, it's a bit of a coincidence.
As
soon as Havertz got injured, then we signed Eze.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a coincidence. My point with Noni, I'm not trying to revise. I'm not trying to revise things. I would just like to say a few things. Number one, I'm still mad about the signing for some reasons. I didn't agree with the position or anything like that. But listen to the fans, please, Arteta, etc. Obviously, if he's good, you eat your words. And so far, I would also, that's my second point. It's only been 4 games. But I would like to say, I was still mad at the fact that we spent money. I just don't think we should do business with Chelsea ever. Full stop. I just don't think we should. That's my opinion. I think we've done way too much. We signed 2 Chelsea players this window. What are we doing? Anyway, also Madueke looks great.
Oh, that's a terrible point.
What is it? How is it?
The Premier League proved Chelsea is whatever you think of Chelsea, they're an amazing football club. If you're signing a player from Chelsea football club.
The best thing about football is rivalries. It's passion.
And don't you think it's great? Don't you think it's great that we've signed a Chelsea player and he might go to Stamford Bridge and score a fucking hat trick?
Might. Yeah,
but
if he does, I'd love it.
He could easily do that, and this is what I'm saying. This is the beauty. Kepa could come on if we get to a Champions League final. Kepa could come on for Raya and save a penalty against his former club and win as a Champions League. You don't know. Havertz could score. Do you know what I mean? This is what's.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know this thing about like Man City. I don't give a shit.
50 million quid and they balance their FFP and buy someone else.
Great, but we've got an amazing player.
But this is a question to the audience then.
Who would you have got instead of Madueke?
Let me give you a question to the audience. Let me give you a question. Do you want to buy players from rival teams? Would you? Are you? If you're an Arsenal
fan, it's making them weaker. You've made Chelsea weaker. Who are they playing on the right wing? Who are they playing on the right wing? He's not. I'm sorry. Their attack.
My point is not.
Their
right.
attack now.
Oh my God.
Who did they replace? Who did they replace Madueke with? Their attack now is worse than it was last season. Yeah, they got No, it's not. They've improved. But what I'm saying is,
it's not just that. How many times do we need to sign Chelsea players?
Oh my God.
I can go through the list. Willian, David
Yeah,
Luiz.
some of them haven't worked
Some
out.
of them were
But
jokes.
why? I don't know why. Like I also overreacted
And
on the
also,
Madueke signing.
Everyone had a bad reaction.
Yeah, of course
and
they did.
everyone
But what I'm
revised it a
saying
week
is
later.
now you look at the signing and you actually think in terms of because he is a back. Whatever you say, the guy's a backup to Saka, but he's also
£50 million one.
competition. This is what I'm saying. We're the new man. You're not listening. We are the new Man City.
Right, anyway,
if
go
Man
on.
City bought thingy from Leicester, didn't he? Fucking Mahrez from Leicester. But then they bought Grealish. They were stacked on the wings. They had Sane. They didn't need all those wingers, but it helped them win the league.
Right.
I don't have a problem with
I just want to ask the audience: should we buy players from Chelsea anymore? And other rival fans, how do you feel when your club buys rival players? I don't think that's a weird question or a weird take. Don't lie.
It's ridiculous. If Ødegaard fell out of favour at Arsenal, right, and Eze replaced him, and then Chelsea Football Club, you're saying at Chelsea you wouldn't take Ødegaard. It's just ridiculous. You just would.
I wouldn't want to sell him. I wouldn't want to sell him.
Yes,
to Chelsea.
I know. I understand that.
What are you
I don't
talking
think they
about?
wanted to sell us Madueke, did they?
Well, they fucking went. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, they're going to regret it. Obviously, they're going to regret
I saw a news article. It says we were in for Madueke. 2 days later, we were. But 2 days later, we had him.
Do you not think it's bad decision making from them? For example, Cole Palmer,
Yes,
Man
we'll get
City.
onto
Man City sold Cole Palmer to Chelsea. What a terrible decision that was.
We'll get on to Chelsea.
Terrible.
And hopefully, as the Havertz signing shows, and hopefully as this one shows, and maybe Kepa too, that we've now turned a page where instead of we're being smart, and we are smart about business, and maybe you can, as you've argued and other people argued, we are actually just forget about the rivalry, forget about giving them money.
Forget about the
We're seeing
club.
good players, and they're fitting in the system, and they've been good signings.
Exactly.
I can understand that. I
don't get why. What's Chelsea got to do with it?
I think
He
they've got
saw a
everything to
player
do
on the
with it.
market. He saw a player on the market who wanted to join. He agreed personal terms. He's a fantastic player. He wasn't getting as much game time. He wasn't obviously in favour at Chelsea for whatever reason. And he's proven he's a fantastic player.
Right.
His performance
but it's been
against
4
Forest,
games.
I don't care. He's coming in with intent. I like him in interviews. He's got confidence. I like it. I really like
I'm not hating.
him.
I like him. I thought he was excellent. I think he was
And he's great for England
probably
as well.
our best player. Yeah, he's been great. I think he's in really good form. And you know what I like most about him? He's thought, actually, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make my mark. And he's risen to it so far.
He's got the type of mentality that he actually thinks in his head. I'm not even joking. Like, he thinks he can replace Saka. Probably in his head.
I love that mentality. I completely agree. I still think he's got some little tiny tweaks to work on in his game. There are a few. He does the odd sloppy pass or whatnot. But I think he's been brilliant so far. I would love for him to be brilliant. I would love for him to go to Chelsea and score a hat trick. I'm just saying a couple of things. I still stand by my initial reaction to it. Secondly, it's small sample size, but I hope that he's brilliant. The thing is, I'll feel sorry for him. What happens when Saka comes back? Interesting question.
He plays on the left.
And where's Eze going?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that's a good segue, because does Eze move into Cam? Because Ødegaard went down injured again.
No, but it's a good point. When everyone is fit, I actually don't know. Look, and the thing is, obviously, we've got cup games and we've got Champions League games, but when everyone's fit,
what's your starting Prem 11?
I don't understand how Madueke gets into the team. It's difficult.
I think the only way Madueke gets into the team is if you drop Ødegaard and play Eze in 10.
Which is not going to happen.
Well, I think it should happen.
But I would absolutely love it if that happened.
I think it should happen. I mean, let's get on to Ødegaard. Went down injured with a shoulder injury anyway. After 20 minutes again.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I thought in the first 20 minutes or so, he looked very... I mean, it's harsh because it was only 20 minutes.
On 20 minutes.
But Jay was pretty poor those 20 minutes again.
Yeah, he didn't look great.
No. And I'm just worried about... I'm just worried about it. I mean, he's had a haircut and hopefully that can do stuff. But I'm a bit worried about Ødegaard. And there's a lot of people online saying the same thing. Yes, you might say it's recency bias, and I don't want to forget about the brilliant things he's done, but I'm just watching what's...
It's not actually recency bias, though, because he's been since his injury, he's just been bang average. I wouldn't say he's been bad, but he's been average. And he's not the player he once was, which is so sad because he was an unbelievable player on his day. I don't know how he's going to fit in. I don't know, because also as well, what you've got to remember is we've got Nwaneri, who actually signed a new contract and was promised game time.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's going to happen to Ødegaard. I honestly don't, because you splashed 65 million on Eze, who has to play. Like, he has to play. He's too good not to. Genuinely, like, he has to play. Saka has to play. Nwaneri needs minutes. He does. Not just in the cup. He needs Prem minutes. And then you've got Madueke, who's at the minute, it's like... And it's good to have options, and we're going to have injuries, but it's just like... I just think, like... Yeah, but to be honest, I think what's good about it is, you know how Man City, with the Foden thing, and I always say about Foden, this is why he's not sort of regarded as he's not consistent, because Pep would constantly change his midfield all the time. Apart from Rodri at the base, it would always chop and change his wingers and his system. And I think that's what Arteta might pull Odegaard on the bench. He might be on the bench sometimes. And it'll be good because we can rest Odegaard. I mean, let's be honest, the reason why he's injured now and he got injured is because he plays too much. Saka plays too much. So, to be honest, it's amazing. We've got all these options now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to talk about Arsenal again because I think we'll end that there because we've been going on for fucking ages.
Shout out to Mosquera as well. He looks really good.
I think, and, you know, it is just really exciting times to be an Arsenal fan, despite the loss against Liverpool, which I think we'll get onto now because we said... You know, they scored that last-minute winner with the 16-year-old that came on, and we said that ain't going to last. They scored not a last-minute winner against us, but it was lucky to score that free kick.
Let's be honest.
And they didn't play well. They did not play well. They've not played well so far. And I know they had 27 shots and what was it? I don't know, 4 shots on target against Burnley or something. But it's like, they're not really playing that well. And I'm sorry, but like, let's be honest, that should have been a draw against Burnley. And fans are going to go, shoulda, we're top of the league. I get it, but it's like, you can't keep doing this.
Yeah, but your worry is they've got 12 points out of 12, and then they get by this period where they're playing shit.
Yeah, and then they play good.
Gear.
Yeah,
that's your worry.
That is the worry.
And that's what worries me, and that's why I was so mad about the Liverpool game because I saw an opportunity where they were there for the taking, and we just didn't take it.
And again, it's one of those things where you lose the league to Liverpool by 3 points, and you look back and go,
why the fuck did we do that? And I'm sick of looking back at certain games and being like, what happened there?
But now we've got to make up for it by thrashing them at the Emirates. Because let's be honest, that game you play each team twice, so you can equal the points out. So for me, it's not a big deal. Like if we beat them at the Emirates, which I think we will, by the way, unless Isak. The only thing that worries me about Liverpool is Isak. But at the end of the day, like if Isak clicks in, then I'm worried. But if not, I'm not. And also, with Liverpool, what you've got to say is they're fantastic. But, yeah, like with us, we've lost Saliba, Mosquera fits in. If they lose Van Dijk, I don't know what happens to Liverpool.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, squad building, we're talking about our squad. Yeah, Liverpool's squad right now is really strange. They're so top-heavy. And, yeah, obviously, Van Dijk injury. The thing is... Liverpool, I'm sorry, the fans, you can call us salty or whatever, but you've just been so fucking lucky that I can see them going a whole I can see them going a whole season with no injuries again. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've got to hand it to the medical department, really, but it is also luck as well.
It's good fortune. I think it is in football sometimes. Like they were pretty lucky last season, especially compared to us. So. And I'm not just being biased. I think if you're a Liverpool fan and you can't say that you were fairly lucky last season and you've been fairly lucky at the start of this season, you are delusional.
Oh, I think they'll admit it. But at the end of the day, 12 points is 12 points, and all that matters is the points on the board.
No, I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, if they keep playing this way, I do think that it will come a cropper, and they're going to get found out.
Hopefully.
Because they can't keep playing like this. They're not playing very well.
Like this, can it?
But yeah, if they do click, I agree. I think it's a fantastic start to get 12 out of 12. And you know,
fair play.
And then if they then click in, you're worried. But it's whether they do. Liverpool fans, do you think you're going to click? Do you have to wait until Isak comes in for you to click?
What happens to Ekitike now? Is Wirtz?
He's got the most runs. He's got the most runs forward.
A lot, but he looks, not the player that I thought he was going to be straight away. And how quickly does he blend in? You've still got Zobspai playing right back. What's going on there?
To be fair, it's a masterclass from Slot, really. But
well, yeah. Obviously it worked against us as well. But Kerkez looks
rash.
Yeah, not very great. So yeah, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of question marks. You're good.
But they're still a great team. The thing is with Liverpool, they're a great team. I don't know if it's a great squad. I don't know if it's a. Like you say, a couple of injuries and they're fucked.
Well, an injury to Van Dijk. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, but you have to be extremely concerned about that. Surely, I mean, that would.
it gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
Like
if I was
every
a Liverpool
time,
fan,
I remember
I'd be
every time
absolutely
Saka,
nice
when Saka goes down, and you think, God, season, you
Well,
think,
it was
fuck.
Saliba for us.
Yeah, it was
for a
Saliba for
couple
us, and then
seasons.
and then
look how
Holding
that
comes in
happened.
and it's derailed it. And I think
Yeah.
that'll be my worry as a Liverpool fan is if Van Dijk goes down, even if he's out for a few weeks, that's enough games. It's 3 games for you to drop points because he's not in the starting 11.
Yeah. So, that was that game. Unlucky for Burnley. But
Burnley, I know, it's
mean,
so
that's the
annoying.
Premier
Scott
League.
Parker, man, I feel sorry for him because really he should have won against United and he should have got a draw there.
Should have at least had.
He should have had way more
shouldn't he,
points.
from those. But
It's such a shame. But again, it's just like his players, man. Like how are you doing that? Those silly mistakes.
well, I think
Silly
it was just
mistakes.
one of those. It was just bad luck.
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes football is just.
But the way Burnley have played so far, it's really promising. But at the end of the day, the Premier League's ruthless, and if you don't get the points up, you're fucked. And they're not putting the points up.
But we're talking about squads again. I just wanted to go back to. I want to actually talk about Chelsea for a sec. Obviously, they played Brentford and finished 2-2. New signing Garnacho let them down at the back post. Wasn't marking his man. And Carvalho. Well, it's true. I mean,
Yeah, no,
true.
I saw it. It's funny.
Scores a bit of a tap in at the back post. I mean, obviously, I'm not digging out Garnacho, but I would say it's another for me. I don't know. We've not spoken about that signing. I think it's a really weird signing. I think before all of the signings that they made, I mean, all the millions of signings that they made, I could have seen maybe last season. I could have seen, okay, Garnacho. He's a decent player, I guess. He's got moments. I think he's still.
Well, this
I
is for
don't
me.
rate him that highly.
They've sold Madueke to Oars and they've brought in Garnacho.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
And I just think I look at that and go, why did you do that?
Yeah, and what the main things, Chelsea fans. I'm not trying to wind you up, and I'm not trying to be biased. But I look at the way you built your squad. You spent £1 billion over, I think, over that amount of time. I'm not criticising you've spent all that money because we've spent a lot of money. But I'm saying, what have you got to show for it right now? You've got a team that still looks quite immature to me. Like, it's going to take a bit of time. Like, they're all very young. They're all very, like... It's just a bit... I don't know. Maybe that's just not that important, but that's my opinion. I also think it's so weirdly stacked. I think you've got a lot of, like, borderline, very good, if not, like, almost world-class talents up front. At the back, I think, other than Cucurella, I don't think James is as good as he used to be, and I think your centre-backs options aren't great.
Promising. Chilwell was promising, isn't it? I mean, sorry, Cole was
he's
promising.
not playing. He's always injured.
Yeah, I know.
And Fofana's injured.
And your goalkeeper, man. I'm sorry.
goalkeeper's
How have you
crap.
not signed Donnarumma? Donnarumma was available.
Or any other keeper that has working arms, because Robert Sanchez is crap.
Yeah. You say he's crap, but
he is crap. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans talk to me. I think he's not very.
He's
good.
average. He's not crap, but he's average.
He's not
And
great.
you
Shouldn't be
need to
playing
upgrade. But
I
I don't know how they've let
and then
Donnarumma
basically,
go
yeah,
to City.
you've got. I just don't understand why you keep buying so many attacking players, other than you're basically playing the player stock market, like you're on FIFA or something. I don't know what you're buying and selling. That's
Like
basically what it
my
looks
prediction is Garnacho will leave Chelsea like in a
year or two.
That literally.
Yeah.
And it's like Sancho. They bought him
This
for
Gittins
what reason?
guy,
I don't know.
No offense, obviously just been a game. He looks fairly average. Just kind of another player. I mean, you've got. It's chop and change all the time. I know you're having injuries, so fair enough. But I'm
For me,
not
it's like
convinced at all.
what's strange for me is that you sold Madueke, who was used to the system, and he tracked back and he did his job. Physical, fast player, and you brought in Garnacho, who's more of a name. Let's be honest, he's got more of a reputation. But again, like football's a team sport, and you see it there. Like he's not tracked back. You've chucked him on. He's not even used to the system, and you conceded a goal. And for me, I look at the manager there, and I go, why have you chucked him on there? I've no idea. Like when you.
Him.
Yeah, again, but still, for the manager, I just wouldn't have played him. It's like Arne Slot. It's like he's not even. Isak's not even in the squad.
This is what I'm saying though. Like, surely, he's being informed to. Maresca must be informed by the board or by people that they, and contractually, they must have to.
Yeah,
give him
maybe they
game
have to
time.
play.
I think it must be a fucking nightmare being him.
I don't know how he does. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how you manage that dressing room. God knows.
He's doing a good job, to be fair.
Yeah,
he's doing a really good job.
Based on I don't know. Fucking hell.
When he came in, though, it was quite funny what he said. He was like, I'm just going to pick my team, and if they're not happy with it, they can just get fucked, basically. And then
fair play.
And that's good. It's good management, really. It's good. He's a really good manager. He must be, because to manage
he's keeping it
he's keeping a lid on that.
Obviously, I just think they've
But with Chelsea again,
not had the best starts this season. They've been okay.
I think again, it's like people getting carried away. Like I heard people, it was crazy at the start of the season saying Chelsea are going to challenge for a league. They're nowhere near title challengers, in my opinion. Nowhere near. Like yes, I think they're going to get in the top 6, and they might even they'll probably might get in the top 4. But City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are just a bit further ahead in terms of the process and how they structure as a team and how they operate.
Should we talk about City and United and with those?
Yeah, we'll end with City United.
Yeah, I mean, should we start with City?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with United because I think they started well, and a bit of a shame with United. It's quite funny. It's not a shame. It's funny. But like they started really well, and they had some really promising moments against City. But yeah, again, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. But yeah, in terms of City, again, I thought they'd fell off, and they didn't start too well. But like you say, when you've got a player like Haaland, I think, like you say, you're guaranteed to get moments and goals.
I think for City, this is similar to when they played Wolves. You can't read too much into it because you play in a very poor side. I'm not even trying to take the piss. Like, I just think United are really bad. And I think, yes, City looked decent. Obviously battered them, like, eventually. And Haaland just does what Haaland does. Foden was a bit brighter. Doku's what a player.
Yeah, I have to say, to be fair, Man City did look better than they had.
Yeah.
I actually think their midfield was pretty shit, which is a concern for me. I know Rodri's getting back into things, but Reinders looked poor again, which is really weird. But he doesn't look like it's not clicking yet for him. But Doku was a really, really good, and Foden was really good in this game. So that's really positive for City. If I was a City fan, I'd be like, oh, it's starting to click. They're starting to get into a bit more.
I could very much see, like, I mean, it'd be really interesting because Arsenal, and I could see them struggling against us if we put it to them, because I just think
defensively they're still shaky to me. I think Man United don't offer a lot up front, but what is going to piss me off, and I know this is going to happen. They've got Donnarumma now, and he gives me nightmares. I mean, Mbeumo did that volley, and Donnarumma saved it. And I just think, like, I'm just hoping because we've got Gyökeres now, and he is a clinical finisher, that there's nothing Donnarumma can do about it.
We've got quite a few clinical finishers, to be honest. I think we've got quite a few.
To be honest, I would only say the only clinical finisher we've got is Gyökeres.
Eze's a great finisher.
I don't think he's a clinical finisher.
What?
He's not
clinical.
Watch Eze?
He's not clinical. You watch football?
Yeah, I have. I watched him
recently.
He's not been clinical.
In the FA Cup final.
But he wasn't clinical against England. He's not been clinical for us.
Finisher.
But it's difference between finisher and clinical.
What is it between clinical and finisher?
The difference is every time Gyökeres gets a clear-cut chance or Saka, they'll score. Eze, for me, is a great finisher and he can produce these moments, same with Namweri, but they're not clinical finishers. That's the difference.
I don't agree.
Okay, well, agree to disagree. I'm just saying, that's my opinion.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, what were you saying about Man City anyway? Well, you think we're going to beat them?
I still think they could finish 4th. I still think Chelsea could finish above them. Because I do think they're still a bit frail. Like you said, their midfield is still a bit weird. I still think, for me, you can't read too much out of this game because I just think United.
No, you can't. Also, it's a derby as well, and once that second goal goes in, heads drop, and
United,
and United aren't great. I mean, it was quite funny seeing Maguire running back to try and chase Haaland when he was on the break. It's like it's never going to happen.
Sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
But United, I just feel like they're just going to dig, and they're just going to keep digging. And
tell you now, they're not finished top 10. They're not going to finish top 10.
They're going to keep digging into this Amarin dream. I just don't. I think they're delusional. I don't think I've seen anything in the whole time he's been there to even suggest remotely that he's the right man for the job.
Yeah. And it's kind of mad
that
how is Harry Maguire one of their best players? I have no idea, but it's like, when like fucking what's his name, Johnny Evans was still playing at United and he was one of their best players, or just like what is going on at that club? I've no idea how he's still. But yeah, it's obviously really bad for United again. Like to say that it's a Manchester derby and they got beat 3-0, it's quite convincing when they didn't really offer too much. It's really bad. It's a sad state of affairs, and also, like in terms of City, they look good, but they don't look great.
Yeah,
So I think
I
massive
think
test for them
United,
at the Emirates next week. Massive test.
Amorim is. I just don't get if you're a United fan. If you are a United fan and you are still completely backing Amorim, I think you're doing it based on faith rather than based on anything else. Like, you're doing it based on the premise that he will maybe, hopefully, just do an Arteta or something. But I think even Arteta in those early days, and quickly you could see that he was pragmatic. He was changing things. I mean, when we won that FA Cup in 2020, we did that with the back five. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were willing to change. Amorim right now, he doesn't look like he's adapting.
Yeah. He's got no idea what he's doing.
I don't think he has a clue.
No.
I think the players are getting worse.
I didn't see a game plan against Man City other than... I actually didn't see a game plan. That's my worry. I didn't know what they were trying to do.
I don't know what they're ever trying to do.
So yeah, it's quite concerning.
You've got your best player. You've got some of your best players like I like Diallo, but he's sometimes played out of position. I think, I mean, you've three at the back. You're building a squad to play the three at the back. The longer you have Amorim in, the longer it's going to be harder to adapt back to playing with the four, because you're going to build the squad in that way. Yeah, I really don't understand. And I mean, I know you've got criticism.
I don't think anyone does. What I don't understand is how United fans thought at the start of the season, this is what I mean, football fans get carried away. They've got short memories. How you actually thought you were going to finish in the top 10?
To be fair, I put them sixth.
I have no idea. I have no idea why you would think that.
I put them sixth because I thought that they would just score goals.
No. Sesko as well, he looks bang average. He looks bang average. He looks like
I thought Cunha would be a lot better. He's not shown enough so far.
They're not. And also, Cunha's one of those players we've seen at Wolves. His attitude, he ain't got the right attitude. He's got a terrible attitude. I just don't think it's going to go well for United. I think they're going to need to change the manager, which is mad because they're going to have to start all over again.
Yeah, I mean, people saying
that
changing the manager will do nothing. Keeping this manager won't do anything either. I really doubt that this...
It can't get any worse, so you might as well fucking change it again.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, what's the worst that could happen? Last season was the worst season in Man United's history. The only thing worse than last season was getting relegated. It was embarrassing. So you might... Like, then I would have just... If I was the owner, I'd have been like, just sack him.
Yeah.
It was shit. You might as well just start again and give someone a whole pre-season. Why they feel this need to cling on to a manager and just hope, basically, at this point, that it's going to go well. Because at this point, it's hope. He's shown no signs.
Yeah.
No signs at all that he's going to do anything productive there.
There's no idea.
What? Why? Really, just fucking change the manager. There's a lot of managers out there you can go and get. Oh, there's no one to go and get. You could have got Thomas Frank.
Fucking Man United.
You could have got Thomas Frank.
God, I know. That's a great point. If you're a United fan right now, you'd just be looking at Tottenham thinking, fuck's sake. I mean, I know Levy's left, but at least he could see that Ange Ball had questionable, questionable results, and there was a top-class manager out there, and that in fairness to him, he fucking went and got him. Whereas United have dilly-davered, and they basically it's a bit of cowardice right now. No one wants to accept that it's just not fucking working. Sometimes you just kind of have to...
I feel like whoever's made the decision at that club to obviously employ Amorim's still there, and they're just going to die on the sword. Because any logical person would have gone, this ain't working out either.
Yeah, I mean, just to sum up, like, I even remember when Eric Ten Hag, obviously...
Oh my God.
I thought he had a terrible season, but then he won that League Cup, was it?
So bad.
Or was it the FA Cup? I think he won both.
FA Cup.
And then they just thought, right, well, let's just keep him in. But nothing else showed that he was going to progress.
That was a bad decision.
And it set all of this back. Because you could have at least brought Amorim in.
I know, in then.
And gave him a pre-season.
They've done it again. And
now they're doing this again, where it's going to get so
He's
bad.
He's going to get sacked.
You're going to have to sack him mid-season again.
Yeah.
Bring in someone else because you have to bring in a manager, unless you give it Michael Carrick or someone. I mean, I don't unless you can get him, or you bring in someone on a
honestly, for me,
bring back Ole.
I genuinely think I'd go for Carrick. I'd go for someone like who's just not an established name, like Arsenal have done and like Chelsea have done with Maresca. Like, I think you need to now.
I don't know what you do. Bring back Ole.
Fuck knows. Anyway, I think we're going to end the podcast there. We obviously didn't quite touch on all the teams in the league, but a lot of those games we haven't touched on were really boring 0-0s or 1-0 games.
Yeah.
So if you're fans of those teams, I'm sorry, but even yourself must have been thinking that, well, whatever.
We're not getting mentioned today.
So, but yeah, thanks for listening again. Please subscribe, like the video, and share it with your mates and everything, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep.
And we'll see you again next week.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.